My name is Lang. I'm a student recruitment advisor with Concordia University of Edmonton. I'm going to go very fast through this intro so we can get right to Dr. Kamal's presentation. I'm joined today by Dr. Patrick Kamal, Dean of the Faculty of Science, as well as Cassandra, who is a student in our Bachelor of Science program. And time allowing, we'll be sharing a little bit of her insight on the program at the end. So with all of that out of the way, recording is started. And Dr. Kamal, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Lang, and our apologies to each and everyone because we're having some difficulties getting onto online. My name is Patrick Kamal. I'm the Dean of Science at Concordia University of Edmonton, and I'll walk you through the Faculty of Science programming to give you a taste of what we have. In the Faculty of Science, I have 3 departments. I have a Department of Biological and Environmental Sciences, a Department of Public Health, and a Department of Mathematical and Physical Sciences. Of those 3 departments, all told, I have about 1,000 students or thereabout, and they all offer the sciences, be it biology, environmental science, mathematics, chemistry, physics as a minor, some courses in earth sciences, and also we have our new BSCIT, the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, and I also mentioned a little bit about the MSCIT towards the very end. So welcome, and I'm glad to answer any questions at the very end. I have 2 department chairs and 1 director. Dr. Xin Chen is the chair for the Biology and Environmental Sciences department. Dr. Baida Saha is the chair for the Mathematical and Physical Sciences department, and Dr. Cecilia Bukutu is the director for Public Health. And in the Public Health realm of things, we do have it's an after degree or postgraduate diplomas, and therefore it won't be as an entry point. But once you're at Concordia, then it's always has served as a good way for students to come on to the Public Health department. Going back to the undergraduate programming, i.e. the Department of Mathematical and Physical Sciences and the Department of Biological and Environmental Sciences, I do have both the 4-year and the 3-year programming. The 3-year is quite attractive in that you get a certificate after 3 years. It's 90 credits as opposed to 120 credits for the 4-year. But with the 3-year, then you can always go on to what we refer as professional programs. You can go into our after degree programming in environmental health at Concordia, or you could also go into the after degree education programming at Concordia. So the 3-year really does offer you that flexibility. And not only that, if you're looking at professional programming or professional studies in dentistry, in as a physician or psychiatry or any one of those, then you can take the 3-year because all those medical programming, they only require your first 2 years. But if you take an extra year, you still get a certificate, and you also get to join your intended programming. The 4-year serves you if you need to continue on to graduate school. With the 3-year, it will be a huge gap because in the 4th year, we do take our students through more intensive programming and intensive hands-on experimental undertakings. So the 4-year really prepares you for graduate school, but also with the 4-year, you could also join our after degree programs. Then I do have a host of minors, and one of those minors that we are looking at maybe elevating to a proper program is biochemistry. Biochemistry, as you know, it's quite an interesting field. It's one of the fastest growing fields in the sciences. And nowadays, and I will maybe mention this towards the end, is that biostatistics, bioinformatics, and the like also ties in with artificial intelligence with the BSc IT. So we have a really good segue that we can go down that route. Of course, I have physics as another minor. I have computing science, information technology as a combination as another minor, but you're phasing out that minor because down the road we'll be having an IT minor for our science students to take on those. The 3-year programs, like I've just mentioned, you can have a 3-year program in biology, you can have a 3-year program in chemistry, you can have a 3-year program in environmental science, or you can have a 3-year program in mathematics. The 3-year programming just gives you a broad base of knowledge to be able to go forward and look at ways to use your undergraduate degree. The biology, we analyze interactions between organisms and through analytical thinking and researching. In chemistry, you immerse yourself in the study of atoms and molecules and their functions, uses, and applications. And in the world around us, and I'm a chemist by training. So as a chemist, we say usually in this world, what isn't chemistry? In environmental science, we investigate the worlds within worlds with a focus on the study of interactions within terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. And in the mathematics programming, we explore the complex world of numeric sciences with courses in statistics, calculus, algebra, game theory, and more. So no matter what 3-year programming that you might want to indulge yourself in, you have lots of solid background that will enable you to move on to either a career or move on to further studies. In the 4-year programming, I have, again, I have biology, I have chemistry, I have environmental science. Now there's the information technology, the BSc IT I mentioned at the beginning. We have an information technology 4-year program. We do not have the 3-year program in information technology, and we have mathematics. And there's a couple of interesting twists in the biology and environmental science, because in biology, we have 2 emphases that we are looking at, either converting those into certificates that you can have. Now you have a BSc in biology and also a certificate. And the 2 emphases are cell and molecular biology and integrative biology. That is on the biology side of things. And on the environmental science side of things, we have environmental assessment and remediation. So these are very, very, as you might very well know, with the current world events and happenings, is that the environmental considerations are quite important. So the environmental assessment and remediation is a very, very useful and handy thing to have. I also have a dual degree programming. Our Bachelor of Science in Chemistry has linked up with the Bachelor of Management. And then you get the 2 degrees in 5 years. It's quite a strict programming regiment, i.e. you have to take those courses in the right sequence, in the right order, and in 5 years, you both have 2 parchments, one for chemistry, a BSc in chemistry, and one for the Bachelor of Management. And this programming came from the industry itself, because we do produce very, very good science students, but they did lack that managerial aspect of things. And if you go to join a laboratory out in the world, you'll be charged with how to run the lab, how to do the budget for the lab, how to forecast your needs. And therefore, we needed that little bit of a managerial side of things. And therefore, we combine these 2, and you can have dual degrees in 5 years. You can have 2 degrees, i.e. a dual degree in Bachelor of Science in chemistry and Bachelor of Management. Moving on, if you're in high school and you want to join Concordia, we also offer what we call, or what we refer to as, dual credit courses. And these are dual credit courses are courses that would allow you to have dual credit, i.e. you earn your high school credits, and also at the same time, you earn credits at Concordia, so that when, and it doesn't have to be at Concordia, but I would really love to have you at Concordia, but at any other post-secondary institution, you'd get the credit for it. I do have a statistics course, that is MAT, or Math 151. We've been offering this in conjunction with the Edmonton Catholic School District. We've had a successful launch for the statistics. We are currently teaching IT 101, that's Information Technology 101, again with the Edmonton Catholic School. It's happening this winter, and we are looking down the road to offer Environmental Science 101 and also Computer Science 100. Therefore, these courses, if you're in high school, if you're in grade 10, grade 11, or grade 12, you can take these courses. You take them in your high school setting. We provide the instructors and everything. So it's at par with our university courses. But at the end of the day, you get your high school credits, and also you get Concordia credits. So this is quite interesting. You may ask yourself, with your degree, where does it take you with your BSc at the end of it, at the end of your 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, if you have the dual degrees? Where does it take you? And there are quite a number of possible outs for you to undertake. One is, most students do go into the health sciences, and that's why I mentioned the 3-year degree is quite appealing in that sense, because medicine, optometry, dentistry, pharmacy, you can join with you only need the first 2 years of education, but if you take 1 more year, then you have an actual certificate to show that you have an undergraduate degree. And if you do the 4-year, then you can have the you can go to graduate school. The after degree and diploma certificate programs, I had mentioned the public health department at the beginning. It's a little bit different from the other 2 departments, in that it only caters for those who already have their first degree. We really encourage you to have a degree in science, but the after degree, you do not have to have a degree in science for you to join the programming, but there are things that you need to have. If, let's say, you have a NATS degree, you do need to have a statistics course, you do need to have some chemistry course, you do need to have a biology course, especially microbiology. So, but it doesn't have to be a science course. But if you are in sciences, then you have taken these courses, and therefore it will be an easier jump for you to join. The after degree is a 15-month programming. So let's say you come to Concordia, you take the 3-year degree programming. After that, you join our after degree in environmental health, and it is our students get job opportunities immediately. They are done with their practicum. It's going to add up to about 4.5 years. So if you take the 3 years and then the 15 months, in 4.5 years, you'll have 2 parchments, one for your undergraduate for the 3-year programming, and one for your the after degree programming. We also have our graduate diplomas in public health. It's a graduate diploma in environmental public health practice. For that one, you do not have to be a health inspector. You can work in any other health places. And we also have a few courses geared more towards those who are working. Let's say you have your environmental health after degree, you're already working. You want to get a certificate in leadership or strategic communications or vulnerable populations, then you can rejoin Concordia and do that. The way that we segment our BSc career pathways is you can have a traditional career, you can have an untraditional career, just like I've just mentioned a little bit earlier on about the after degree, or you can have a science related career. So it all depends on which side things that you want to take your programming or your studies. So you can either go to a traditional career, non-traditional after degree career, or you can go to a proper science-related career. I'll just mention the three areas quickly here. For a traditional career, you become a traditional. Let's say you're a biologist, then you join the Alberta Society of Professional Biologists. You'd work in a lab as a biotech, or you'd go on to further studies and do an MSc or do a PhD in biology. So then that would be sort of a traditional line of things. If you're in environmental science, then you join the Alberta Institute of Agrologists. If you're in chemistry, then you join the Association of the Chemical Profession of Alberta. And all these programming, we do prepare our students to be able to join this professional programming. I will mention a little bit about the Association of the Chemical Profession of Alberta, because our chemistry program is also accredited by the Canada Institute of Chemical Institute of Canada. So it's also accredited via that group, so that across the country and around the world, if you are through our Concordia chemistry program, then you are at par with anyone else who has gone through a chemistry program across the country and indeed around the world. The public health side of things, the non-traditional degree, then you can either go to public health at Concordia. It's a 15-month programming, or you can come to our after degree in education, which is a 2-year programming. And lastly but not least is with a science-related career. And typically, this is where you apply your science skills to non-science areas, as in public education or management. The one area that we've really worked on is that the dual degrees I mentioned about in chemistry and management. And lastly but not least, as I log off here, is that we have a Master of Science in Information Technology. It's a very sought after programming that we have at Concordia. And I would urge, if you do the BSCIT, then you can continue on to the MSCIT, which would be a good segue to do that. If you do a diploma elsewhere, let's say you do a diploma at Northwest or a diploma at NAIT, then you can always come to the BSCIT and join our MSCIT. And lastly but not least, I should mention that at Concordia, we are very, very hands-on experience school in our laboratories, and our students actually do the work. And whenever we have our students out there, their employers always tell us that we have the best prepared students. So we have lots of laboratory space, both in the old building and also in our new laboratory space at the Aranowakowicz building. Other than that, we do have a new labs coming up in our new building. I will take questions if we have any.
So unfortunately, Patrick, we are actually over time, so we don't have time for questions. I would recommend that if anyone does have questions, that they go to the program-specific sessions that are also happening, because we'll be transitioning shortly over to the next presentation. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Kamau, for presenting for us. And definitely, if you do have questions, check in with the specific programs.
Then I'll jump into those sections, and should someone have a question,
definitely,
we can join there. Okay, thank you so very much. And thanks.